Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so I've put everything where it needs to go in regards to moving out of this apartment or this unit today. For the most part, found some creative ways of creating space. Just, you know what I mean? Using my brain, meditating a little bit, and then saying, oh, that's a good idea, and doing stuff like that. So I think I've condensed everything to where it needs to go. I got everything that I need to take with me. I found a hostel that's $40 about a couple blocks down, not too far from where we are. $40 may be the way for me to go. I haven't reserved it yet um, because I want to see if there's any chance I can check into this, try to see if they'll do for me what they wouldn't do last time. But yeah, my SIM card has arrived at T's house, and so I'm gonna try to find a way to get with him today and grab that from him, whether it be me going all the way to Long Beach or meeting somewhere like we did last time. But I definitely need that today because tomorrow is the day that T-Mobile wants $80 something, and there's no way I'm gonna have that. But at the same time, I need to be able to access my bank account so that I can get to the money necessary to pay for this place tomorrow. So if for some reason my phone is turned off, there's no solution, because what you would otherwise want to do is transfer that money into this checking account right today. But the problem is they're going to take that $80 when they trigger that payment, which would mess up my entire situation. So that's not a solution either. So I need that SIM card, and I need to be able to get on their network tonight so that I don't have that problem. So that's one of my more important things to do. The hostel is like 15 beds in one room, so you know how I hate that with my anxiety. But this is one of the first days where I woke up this morning asking the Lord to help me with these particular anxieties. I usually ask him to coddle them, keep me out of places that would otherwise make me anxious, stuff like that. But today I'm like, I'm tired of these anxieties. I really am. I'm tired of these anxieties as it pertains to I don't want to live with nobody. I don't want to do certain things that would otherwise help me. I'm tired of that stuff, man. To be honest with you, because it puts too many caps on my life. And so, rather than coddling them even further like I always do, I'm in a space where I'm asking them to help me with them. I have them, they're there, and I want them gone. And I've been going through the process of getting help, doing this channel and every different thing. But at the end of the day, I just kind of want them out of my life at this point so I can move a bit more freely. So I don't think I've ever really prayed for that. I don't think I've ever really asked for that. I never really even thought of that because I'm too busy comfortable in this space. But it creates more uncomfort for me in the long run, and I'm finding that in this space. So for all the different things that I've chosen, like, oh, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this so I can stay coddled, I don't want to do that so that I can be comfortable. It's left me in a very uncomfortable position because I have to wake up in mornings like this with things not certain in regards to my living. And tonight's a Laker night. If I'm in a hostel, it's going to be a little more difficult for me to be myself doing the Laker video, watching the game, in theory. So that's just what it is. It's one of those days where it's like you gotta lean on faith and then take the resources necessary and try to figure out what you can do for yourself. So checkout time is at 11. It's about 12. It's at 12 right now. It's about 10 minutes to 10, and I've done all my showering. Like I said, done all the stuff that I need to do to clean up this place, done everything I need to do to make sure everything is in place to skedaddle out of here. Where my stuff is going to be stored, likely the same place, under the stairs if they don't have a better option for me. I'm not taking everything with me, of course. I only got one bag that I'm packing, taking with me to where I'm going tonight. And the hope is to do the same thing tomorrow, come back here, and early in the morning, about 8 o'clock. I think they get here at 8 o'clock or 8:30, I'll make sure. And be hopeful that another room will be available to me, and let the Lord work out the particulars from there. But that good thing is that hostel is down the street. It's only $40 a bed. It had good reviews, very good reviews. In fact, better reviews than this place did. So that leaves me in walking distance like NoHo, because NoHo is going to be a little too expensive. I priced around, I ain't got nothing lower than 116 in NoHo. That would put me a little over my budget for my circumstance. So that's what we're dealing with there. So it's just a little tricky, man, because at the end of the day, I do have that phone situation triggering tomorrow, and T-Mobile has been kicking the can down the road, and I am trying to get off their network, and the SIM card is finally in place. So with all of that being in place, it's like I need that SIM card today, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like I need to be able to meet Team's timeline. But what I got going on, I don't know what kind of timeline I'm on, you know what I mean, to where I would be able to do that. But it is one of the top priorities of the day, along with getting myself somewhere else. So what I'm hopeful would happen is that they will break the rule and let me have a room here tonight. That way I can leave my stuff in a safe place, have somewhere to lay my head tonight that ain't gonna cost more money. But that's just against their rules. They didn't go for it last time, and I'm not expecting that would be something that they would do today. But it is something that would really help me in a lot of ways, particularly with my budget, so I don't have to try to spend extra money that needs to go to them somewhere else. So that's kind of the appeal. It's like, look, I got this amount of money. If I got to go find a hotel, I'm in trouble. I'm not gonna be able to give you your money. I'm not gonna have everything I need to start off the week properly, in theory. So that is the situation. Although my uncle did send me enough to where if I can find a place under $100, I should be cool with giving them what they need to start off the first week tomorrow morning. So it's like, that's why the hostel is such an important aspect of it. But I didn't want to pay for the hostel ahead of time and then find out I could stay here. I don't know if they have any refunds. So it's a lot of stuff to balance out. But I wake up this morning having meditated a great deal on everything I had going on, meditated on everything that I'm seeing online with the war, Israel and Gaza. And the Lord did, as I was meditating last night, he didn't compel me to speak on it. He really didn't. And I wanted to say some things, but everything in my meditative space was just telling me, no, not right now. And so I'm just going to tell you guys that I'm hurt by what I'm seeing. And it gives me some perspective on my own life. And I know my problems aren't that bad. I lean on God, and I'm seeing him working in my life. So I just want him to work in people's lives, man, all over the world, where things are taking place, where things are happening in real ways that I would never want to see happen in our own country. And so it's not just what we're seeing online. It's a lot of stuff that we're not seeing online. People are showing us what we need to see in certain areas, but ignoring that same type of thing in other areas of the world, and in their own land in certain cases. So it's just a lot of prayer been going out, not only as it pertains to fixing my own issues, but also what I'm seeing that is happening that reminds me that it's happening elsewhere as well. So that's heavy too, man. That's really heavy, because it gives you perspective. Just how bad do you think you're doing is what I end up saying to myself. Yeah, I don't have this, don't have that, and I'm used to this, so therefore that feels stressful. But it ain't nearly as bad as some of the stuff that we're seeing, man. Some of these images are just like, it's overwhelmingly sad and overwhelmingly just devastating is the word I want to use. So yeah, that's on my mind for sure. And I'm sick of thinking about myself so much. With all the things that I feel in anxiety, with all the things that I got going on to worry about in regards to my own personal situation, I just feel I'm over that. I'm over thinking about that all the time. I'm over worrying about me. I'm over protecting me, as it pertains to my mind needs this, so therefore I'm doing that. As I'm telling you guys, like, I'm sick of the anxiety. I really am tired of this. I'm tired of backing in myself into a corner to where I need help from others and then have to have hard conversations with them. Like, I don't want this. I don't want this way of going forward. I would much rather have myself in a stable situation where I'm living the life that I want to live, and then from there can give these type of topics more credence than just, okay, I'm thinking about that, and how am I going to take care of myself? How are things that are unstable in my life going to get better? It's just, it's a tired way to go, especially at this age in my life. It's just tired, man. I'm not tired. The circumstances of what I put myself through is some tired bullcrap, and that's ultimately what the truth is. Also waking up this morning knowing that it would be in my best interest to probably sell my AMC, or at least a good $300 worth, to bring it down to where it needs to go so that they won't deny me my GR. I prayed about that this morning, and the Lord did not compel me to do that. He just didn't. But there's more praying to do, and that market closes at 1. But I'm following the Spirit on everything, man. I really am. I don't care if it makes sense or not. I don't care if it's right or wrong as it pertains to what it looks like. Because at the end of the day, following the Spirit has been the right way to go. And I have not felt that was what the Spirit is asking me to do. But it did ask me to hold. And that was the last thing I heard in regards to that. So it would help me a great deal to get GR, but it also is me capitulating with what I consider to be an attack on my spirit, making it so that I couldn't hold my AMC in the first place. And one thing I've learned about the evil is that you do not capitulate with it. You don't go along with it. You don't do what it tells you to do. You don't react to its nonsense. And if you look at spiritual energy that way, and you look at things spiritually that way, then you know that in being obedient to God by not doing so, you're going to see better results, even though the math book or the calculator may tell you otherwise. It's what I believe. It's what I live by. Doing things the opposite way has not worked for me. And so this hasn't obviously worked for me either. AMC hasn't worked for me either, but I know it's a greater good that we're doing here, and I'm willing to sell. If it will help me, but first I need to know that it's right from a spiritual standpoint, and thus far all quiet on that front. So there is another phone call to make in regards to that lady. Getting back to her and letting her get back to me is probably not the way to go. I need to be proactive in getting a conversation going to find out what my options are, and to see if there is a way I can move forward, because I am in a homeless space. This is bad. And I do need my general relief, but me being forced to sell my property for the sake of getting that general relief seems to be skewered by the idea that money can actually help me in the first place. Even if I sell it, I only have it for a week, and then I'll need GR. So that to me just seems like something that they can do something about with an appeal process. So that's why I haven't sold, because that appeal needs to take place as well. So we pray about it, but I got a Laker video to do. Like I said, there's a Laker game tonight, but it's a preseason game, so if I don't get to it the way that I want to, it's par for the course of my circumstances. But I don't see why I wouldn't be able to watch the game and at least chime in on it at some point. But excuse me, I've had a lot of good times in this unit. 221 has been a blessing to me. If I could really say anything at all, it's just for all of the different things that I had happen here, with trying to get certain things done, not having the workouts go well in here, making the playlist or two in here, having certain dreams and stuff like that, just trying to battle the circumstances in front of me. This place has embraced me just like 115 did. In the end, even though it started off rocky, in the end I had a really good time living in this room. And one thing I can say about the situation that I don't hate is, if you remove the stress of it all, I haven't hated having different rooms in the same building in a short amount of time. That's not the worst living experience I've had. It's the stress of it all that makes it so that I can't appreciate just being in different places, that kind of thing. Got a new room. Okay, let's enjoy this new room. Get used to it. All right, let's move on to another. Let's see how another room is. Let's get that spirit right over there. Like, that's kind of how this has been from 115 to 221. And I haven't hated it. The only thing I hate about it is just the uncertainty of the circumstances and how I have to strain myself to make it happen. But if this were just a regular way of doing things, it doesn't suck as much as one would think. It really doesn't. I kind of like it. But and also, this bed has gotten significantly more comfortable with every day that I've been in it. For the first night, it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world, to now it's like I can lay here and feel comfortable. So I really appreciate that. I kind of wish I would have did laundry after. I did laundry yesterday, And now I realize I'm probably gonna want to do laundry tomorrow because I'm gonna have sheets to wash and that kind of thing, assuming that I'm able to get a room here. But I wasn't necessarily assuming everything would go right. So my thinking was, if things don't go right, you want all of your clothes to be clean. If for some reason you do not have this place, you don't want to have to do laundry somewhere else, or not have the ability to do laundry somewhere else. You just don't know what could come. So with things being uncertain, it felt like it was the right move to do it beforehand, even though I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that I would probably want to wash the sheets whatever room I'm going to be in next. So that's something I didn't necessarily think all the way through, but that's what it is. So man, I'm looking forward to this all being over though, man. I really need my general relief to be in place at the end of the day, so that I can have that income, so that I can start applying for some of these places that only take people who are on GR, people who have disabilities and stuff like that. I found some places when I left 115 that had that being criteria that would get you in there. So for me to be denied my GR just because I'm holding AMC just seems quite wicked, given the fact that I'm holding ANC for all the right reasons, I believe. And it just speaks to a lot of the evil that we see. It's a sad world we're in right now, watching how things are going, and watching the stances our country takes and ignoring certain things that are happening so very clear as day. It just speaks to how godless all of this really is, and just how far away we are from being okay. You know what I mean? And I think about the celebrities who are seeing these images that I'm seeing, and they're not able to speak out in a way that allows for the horrors that they see to be understood. I see a guy like Amari Stoudemire speaking out, but he comes off as uninformed, and I just understand that's the balance. That is the balance. A lot of times you're going to speak and not know, or you're going to think you're going to react to what you see, but it's not what you see is not what it is. So it's just a lot of stuff that I think that's why the Lord just kept me quiet. You know what I mean? For the most part, last night when I was thinking of speaking on impulse, I said I'm going to pray about it before speaking, and he compelled me not to. It's because of that very thing. But I want to say that what we're seeing needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. And I don't know who's going to do what or how, but the state of affairs in this world and the willingness to ignore it, it's dangerous, in my opinion. It's very dangerous. It births things that we do not want to see, and that's ultimately what this would be the beginning of that type of thing. For your indifference, you would just welcome it to you, and I don't welcome this to our country. I don't welcome this to anybody, and I want these circumstances to get better where they are found. So that's what it is, man. I know people are waking up, some people have been having nightmares about these things, probably. People waking up in dark spaces, worried about their kids, looking at things differently because of these images. And that's the devil in the circumstance as well. It's meant to desensitize to a degree, make you angry, make you think it's hopeless, make you fearful. You know what I mean? This is what this does. Yes, we need to see it. Yes, it's going on. But it brings out the worst in people too when you see these type of things. You start seeing the indifference in people. Say, well, what about us? What about us? It's like, well, you're the same ones that's going to be asking the world to support you. And when they say, what about us? You're going to be feeling helpless. And a lot of times we allow people who have no respect for suffering to represent us in conversation. Like, yeah, this is what we need. No, you don't know what we need. You're just as evil as some of the people who are doing some of these things that we don't like seeing. And that part is what really becomes evident in my mind. So we just got to be careful about what we do, what we take in. Try to meditate what we can. Pray for whomever, everywhere, and try our best not to just think things are as surface level as we see them to be, because sometimes it's more to it than that. But when it comes to some of the stuff that we're seeing in this situation, I can't help but think that this is horrible. And these are the times we're in, man. We won't soon forget them, and we won't soon forget who's speaking and who's not. That's the bottom line. People think that they can just continue doing things, businesses as usual, and I tell you, I've been saying this for a little while now. You can't do some of the stuff that you used to do in the 80s and 70s as a country because the internet's going to show people a lot. Stuff that you otherwise could just say, yo, this is what it is, and then walk away. If you still think it works that way, when people have cameras in real time all over the world, you're sadly mistaken. And I think that's what this Western world is running into. We're running into that. We're used to doing things like we did in the 80s. We support our friends, yeah, but what we're seeing is what your friends are doing. And that's the reality of it, America. We're watching your people. Your people are watching what your friends are doing. And they're seeing the horrors that are taking place there. And they're having conversations with some of those people. And what you're going to find is that the rubber's going to have to meet the road one way or another, because you can't have people seeing these images, children losing their lives and suffering all around, and then continue to say that you support who's doing it, and think that it's not going to have some ramifications in your world, in the world around you. It is. And you're going to have your own people turning on you, because compassion is a real thing, and it don't matter what a color a child is or where that child is at. If we're seeing children suffering, if we're seeing it, for which we haven't seen these images in this way before, if we're seeing it, then it ain't going to be no, oh, we're just going to roll with it because our friends are the ones who are doing it. It's not going to work. Or because our friends got hit first, so now this is justified in our friends' eyes, and we're going to support them no matter what. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And you're seeing it doesn't work. And America's going to have to react to the fact that their whole country is watching this, and basically all of the people are feeling a way about what they're seeing, while the country is taking a different stance politically, and celebrities are taking a different stance politically, and different organizations are taking a different stance politically. You could take a different stance, but not while everybody's watching what the stance you're taking is causing or allowing to happen. It just doesn't work. And this is one of the first times we're really seeing it, just how wicked it is. You always did this. Things like this were always happening. Our friends were always responding to things that happened to them in ways like this. But this feels like we're okay with it as a country. This is like our political system is set up to where we can't condemn this properly. And for me, I just know better than to think that works. It won't. So that's really what I have to say, man. Prayers out to everybody who's lost anybody in these circumstances. Like I said, taking sides is not my point of view, but when you start seeing as much as I'm seeing, you start wondering what it is that you're actually looking at. And you start piecing together what it is that you've seen in the past in certain situations, and you look at this and you see parallels. You're like, oh man, is this as bad as I'm sensing it is? And the answer is, yeah, it is, man. That's what I'm starting to understand. It is as bad. So that's what it is, man. And with all I got going on, I got to worry about myself. You know what I mean? That's just, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And so that's really the point of view I'm have this morning. I hope everybody's able to find peace in their day. I would love to tell you to have a good day, but if you are aware of what I'm talking about, it's kind of hard to just simply have a good day unless you're a very heartless individual, in my opinion, for which many are, but I am not. And I would love to see the suffering come to a cease in everyone's lives, including my own, in my own little world. So that's pretty much what it is. I'm going to meditate a little more, find out what it is that the Lord wants me to do, ask that He compel me in a way that allows for me to have a great outcome in what I'm trying to accomplish today and going forward. And hopefully these struggles can end for all of us, whoever we are and whatever way we're struggling, because that is ultimately what it's really about. So that's what I got to say. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.